How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Schmoedown Central. I'm your host, Brad Thomas, and this is going to be a little bit shorter episode this week, a little different, less production value. I'm heading down to Disneyland and California and Universal Studios and stuff like that for the next week, so I don't have the time to put in the effort to make this with all the graphics and all that, but still going to be breaking down everything that happened in Schmoedown, just with me saying it on camera, talking to you guys on camera, so just enjoy that. Also have the stats at the end. I'll have time to put that graphic together, just not all the other production stuff. But let's get into the first match. And apologies if I do look down to my phone to look up some stats. Again, I have everything on my phone, so I just want to let you know if you see me looking down, that's the reason why. But let's get into it. The Innergeekdom Championship, Mark Donica, #1 contender, earned his way into this spot, coming in with that 2-0 record, taking on Inman at 3-1, looking to go 4-0 on a 4-0 run, that is, and take out Mark the Enforcer. Donica, round number 1, you had Mark Donica and Jason Inman both going head-to-head, toe-to-toe. Close match up until the last couple questions, where Jason Inman took a 9-7 lead heading into round number 2. And in round number 2, Mark Donica was up first. He spins MCU. He got a good round, goes 5 for 5, gets a possible 8 out of 10 points. Solid round for him, and Jason Inman matches him, doing his just as good with the Star Wars category. He goes 5 for 5, 8 out of 10 points, which led again to a 2-point lead heading into round number 3 for Jason Inman. Round number 3, we had the betting round, both competitors betting 2 points on the Lord of the Rings category, and both of them losing 2 points in that category. Again, they both, makes it a 2-point lead still for Jason Inman. Both of them couldn't come up with the correct answer there. Speed round is where things definitely took a turn. Jason Inman was 4 for 4 out of the ones that he decided to answer correct. Of course, Donica getting the 1 point, but it did widen the margin. Again, just enhancing that lead to a 5-point margin for Jason Inman, heading into the 5th and final round. And in round 3, Donica getting that first question correct in Indiana Jones movies, but couldn't come up with the correct answer in his following 2 questions. Of course, he challenged on the second question there, couldn't come up with it, and getting the third question incorrect. Jason Inman ends up winning at 19-16 via TKO. Very solid game for Jason Inman. He improves to 4-1 with 2 knockouts, as for Mark Donica falling to 2-1. Jason Inman, though, an impressive game. 18 for 20 correct for 90%. As for Donica, he goes 14 for 20, not a bad game for 70%, just not as good as Jason Inman. So Jason Inman wants people to earn their shot. He wants people to pay their dues, go head to head, earn their way up to the championship. Of course, Rachel Cushing is one of the ones that he has his eye on. As for Donica, though, he wants Jay Washington, of course, shouting out answers, saying things are easy from the crowd, so he wants to take on him and the Viper squad, so we'll have to see if that goes down in the weeks to come. And then on Friday, Clarke Wolfe taking on Mike Kalinowski. Of course, Clarke Wolfe earning her spot based on Emma Fife's win in the Manager Bowl, and then of course Mike Kalinowski getting that shot as well. Clarke Wolfe coming in with the 5-4 record, and Kalinowski coming in with the 4-3 record, of course with 3 knockouts, earning that KO nickname. And we got into round number 1. Round 1, back and forth type action, of course, until the final 8th question, where Mike ended up taking that 1-point lead, of course, having also to change his answer in round number 1. Maybe should have done that, as it could come back to bite him in the long run. Round number 2, though, Mike ends up spinning Spielberg movies, and a very solid choice for him. He goes 3 for 4, 6 out of 8 possible points in that round. A very solid round for him. Clarke Wolfe up next. She gets a lucky spin and gets the horror movie category, and she goes 4 for 4, 8 out of 8 points. Clarke's first ever 8-point round in round number 2. Clarke Wolfe heading into round 3 with a 1-point lead, but things were bound to flip here, as Mike Kalinowski misses his 2-pointer, but gets his 3-pointer correct, again sending things back to Clarke Wolfe. Clarke Wolfe, though, hits her 2-pointer, misses the 3-pointer, so it goes back to Kalinowski, all tied up, and both competitors actually end up hitting their 5-point questions. That, of course, comes down to the sudden death round, and on the first question, of course, Clarke Wolfe gets that Jim Carrey answer correct. As for Kalinowski, couldn't come up with the correct answer. A big play by Clarke Wolfe, sealing the deal and earning her spot against Sam Levine. So Clarke improves to 6-4, and Mike drops to 4-4 with still the 3 knockouts. Clarke, of course, went 12 for 16 for 75%. As for Mike Kalinowski, he goes 11 for 16 for 69%. Very close game, came down to the final question, and what more could you ask for in this type of match? As we see, Clarke, of course, going up against Sam Levine. Will be a heated match. The rematch, of course, Sam winning in their first matchup, but anything can happen in the Schmoedown. As for Kalinowski, we'll have to see what happens. He said some people maybe abandoned him. He only had 1 person in the crowd cheering for him. Was that Brianne Chandler? Who exactly was that? Was it a surprise? Was it maybe Roka when he teased the 4 Horsemen? Who knows exactly what it could be? And then, of course, in our post-credit scene, we do see the Kingsmen accept a challenge from the Wildberries. Of course, Elliot Dewberry there and a very amusing moment, of course, and I'm excited to see that one. I think it'll be a very, very fun match. As for next week on the Schmoedown, we got Critically Acclaimed taking on Superhero News. That should be a very intense battle. Look forward to see what happens there, but really what excites me is the Friday doubleheader. Of course, our Patreon people will have one of the matches today, and that's Matt Nose taking on, of course, Ken Knapsack. It will be a very exciting, intense match, and paired with that doubleheader is the other half of Team Top 10. You got Roca taking on Jeff Snyder. I cannot wait for the doubleheader. Of course, I'm a Team Top 10 supporter from the beginning, so I'm very interested to see what goes down there, how much action happens, and again, just a very exciting doubleheader. So as for our play of the week, that's got to go to Clarke, hitting the final question. A big key play, of course, the sudden death, that has to be it, and I think our misplay potentially could be either the end question, of course, Kalinowski missing the sudden death question, or in that round 1 where he did change his answer. He had the correct director down for the question, just ended up switching his answer to the incorrect one. That could have been a key moment of potentially avoiding the sudden death round and Kalinowski getting the victory. But as for our player of the week, that's got to be Jason Justice. Inman defending the belt successfully, the only Innergeekdom competitor to do that, I believe, and goes 18 for 20 for 90%. A very solid game by Jason Justice Inman, and I'm looking forward to seeing if he can continue that momentum and defend it potentially even more down the road. So that's it for this episode of Schmoedown Central. Thank you all for watching. Again, a shorter episode this week, and just no graphics, again, like I said, going away. Again, leave your thoughts on the matches, what's to come in the comment section below. Again, follow me on Twitter at SchmoedownCent or at 94BradThomas. Again, just thank you all for watching. Again, leave your thoughts there on Twitter and here, and I will talk to you all next week with the full episode, hopefully, on Schmoedown Central.